Now goes the powerhouse, and the COVID-19-Man has come to deliver you from the empty land, from the ones who have been silenced to the promised land of the AlefBet, which is the original place for the soul of a man, where he can now get his jubilee and abide safe like he's never been, in the power of the Father, in the powerhouse, cause that's what Warranties, DAVAR, in the AlefBet we're connected. Warranties, DAVAR, in the powerhouse we're connected. Choose in the T.O.R.A.H where it is, that's right. And whether you like it or not, I just don't give a damn. Cause in this thing, the end is gonna be for sure. It's got a date before the song began to score. This ain't no lie, we about to fly. Cause in the truth there's nothing that can be denied. Here's the COVID-19-Man is hooking you up to the AlefBet, to the powerhouse, with you waving. The COVID-19-Man is gonna hook you up, cause that's what Warranties, DAVAR, in the AlefBet we're connected. Warranties, DAVAR, to no one else I'm genuflecting. Warranties, DAVAR, to the powerhouse I'm connected. And then I want to get your power back, cause you will find in there the powerhouse not scared. You won't be silenced, nobody can touch what you will find in there. Gets to cut the masking back of lies. The righteous now they cries, cause the COVID-19 is gonna hook you up to the powerhouse. Live the power show, ride this mule around. Welcome to HDTV 28. DAVAR T.O.R.A.H vote 613. It's good to have you. Welcome. Well, hello, my fellow DAVARians. It's good to have you once again. Enjoying a fellowship here on today, Wednesday, February 17. All right, Wednesday, February 17 here. Welcome to Watch and Win, Learn and Earn. As we look at this topic today, the coverage and the nakedness. All right, and you can see I've chosen the sun and the serpent, okay, because one is the opposite of the other. The sun is this big head that sends the covering of energy upon all the earth. It covers it with energy, with strength and energy. It electrifies the earth. So it's this big head that flashes all the sun rays of energy to bring covering of life. And the serpent is the big head that swallows everything in his path. Okay, so that's the contrary. The behavior of the serpent is just this big head that goes around and swallows anything in his path all the way to the bitter end, just like a living black hole. One is a head that sends out the light, and the other is a head that devours everything in his path. So we're going to look at that, the coverage and the nakedness. And so it's good to have you. It's good to see you here. Let me go to my usual office that I opened with. Here, let me get to that screen. Give me a second. Yes. Yeah, here we go. See how we're doing. All right. So here we are, my fellow DAVARians. It's kind of dark in here for me. I don't know. The light was a little better earlier when I was rehearsing at the beginning, but I don't know. In any case, when I work with this, so we got to go with right now. All right. So let me see. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. In any event, so that's what we're talking about today. All right. So, you know, the coverage and the nakedness. Okay. And we're going to delve right into that here in a minute. But like I said, today, you know, I managed to do this from actually the COVID-19 group today. Usually I've been going to my own page and then sharing it into the COVID-19 group because it had been giving me a great deal of hassle by sharing it. But that wasn't too bad today. So I tried it from the COVID-19-MAN group, and I was able to tag a lot of people. I told you I was not going to let me tag more than 10 because that's how it was working before. That's how I had to keep going to my own personal page and share it from there. But it seems to, I don't know, I think that's working a little better now, so I'm going to use it that way. So today officially is being done, from the COVID-19-MAN group, and that's what we're doing right now. Let me see here. So, all right. So, okay, the sound seems to be working okay. I can see it working in my screen. All right. Let me see here. So let me take you to the, set you up here already. See how we're doing. Okay, all right. Let me see. Here we go. Let me get to the other observation number 2. Yeah, here we do. This is where I can share all of you guys. All right. So here we are. All right. So, okay, I can see some of you guys in here already. Welcome, Brian Wanta, Bear Fruit, Brianna Duran. See some of you guys already joining us. All right. The rest of you out there, don't sit outside on the outskirts. Just get in and say hi. All right, don't be shy. I'm not going to bite or anything like that. I'm just going to give you some money. All right. So, come on in. We just started. I started really on time this time. Usually I always past 8, but I kind of been working early today and trying to make sure that we get everything done. So I was able to put the description and do everything that was necessary. And so, so that's what we're dealing with. So in the meantime, while we're doing this, let me share a little commercial from this guy. Nothing has changed. This guy said this last year, and I'm just going to play the beginning of it, about the growth and European markets and the growth everywhere. Everything is pretty much the same. So this is a message from the retarded garden, I will say, how people depend on the economies of our time, and this guy is just telling it like it is. So let me put him here at the beginning just for an introduction. And then we get back to where we're at right now. Let me go to the top here. Give me a second. All right. Go to the cinema here. There we go.
At the end of 2019, Europeans' growth was 0.1%. Mexico was already in a recession. There was a global slowdown going on around the world. But those are only facts. But now it's going to bounce back like never before as they put all these new abnormals into our lives. Fun, liberty, love, joy, and beauty. F you, don't you know who I am? I'm a slimy, low-life politician. I'll tell you what to do, and the people follow. Heil Hitler. Salute to Stalin, Monster Mussolini, nothing has changed.
Where the retarded garden is at right now. Of course, everything is going to be the way as it is, retarded, and everything as it is right now. Okay, the only places where they see the newness of life is in the Torah, because that's where we're contemplating the mindset of the Creator, and we're bringing Him to bear. So, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I tag Rosa Crispin. I hope some of you get to tag her, because I forgot to tag her, I think. I'm trying to think back here in my head. In any case, so she can join us tonight. So I think I forgot to tag her, if I'm not mistaken. I hope she gets in. So let me see here. Let me see if I can tag her now. I don't know if that can be done in the middle when I started. Doesn't let me do it, I guess. Okay, we just have to. Okay. In any event, let me start sharing some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today, and start singing some songs. Let's see here. Okay. So, Song of Solomon 2:16. I haven't sang this for a while, but that is Song of Solomon 2:16. It says, "My beloved is mine, and I am his. And he feedeth me among the lilies." Song of Solomon 2:16. This is I'm AlefBetisizing the Father in me to strongly safeguard systems that I can see. Okay? And then, it is the Ab is the Father, who now here dwells in me forevermore. It is I who now here dwells in him forevermore. All right, so let me see if I remember. I haven't played for a while, so let's see how it comes out. Let me try it here. My beloved is mine and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine and I am his. And he feedeth me among the lilies. Son of Solomon, 2:16. And he feedeth me among the lilies. Son of Solomon, 2:16. I'm AlefBetisizing the Father in me, doing strongly safeguard system that I can see. I'm AlefBetisizing the Father in me, doing strongly safeguard system that I can see. I'm AlefBetisizing the Father in me, doing strongly safeguard system that I can see. I'm AlefBetisizing the Father in me, doing strongly safeguard system that I can see. It's the who now he dwells in me forevermore. It is who now he dwelling here forevermore. It's the who now he dwells in me forevermore. It is who now he dwelling here forevermore. My beloved is mine and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine and I am his. making progress here. Let me see. Let me see how we're doing over here. All right. How's my people doing? All right. Okay. Andy, you joined us. Good. Rosa, also you joined. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad you guys people made it. I don't want to miss you out on this. All right. I'm sorry if I didn't tag you. I don't think I tagged you. I thought I didn't, but I guess you made it. Well, that's good. That's good. You know, the usual suspects are here. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad you all to join. All right. See, we haven't sung this song for a while, but you see, when God made us, okay? All right, so understand he is the Father, the alphabet. That's how he called himself, the AlefBet. Okay, and that is the heritage to which we have been called. Okay, and to tell you that, I'm going to bring you here to the heritage here in, in this one. Yeah, let me see if I can take you to Jeremiah. Jeremiah here, chapter 3. We're going to get into that right now. We're going to go all the way down to verses 18 and 19. That's our heritage here. All right. Let me take you there. Okay. Now, here in, started with Jeremiah 18. I'm there right now. Okay. So it says, in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, okay, to the land that I have given for an inheritance. Okay, yeah, it's a heritage. It says, unto your fathers, okay, and then it says here, the land that I have given, the word land is eretz. It's another word for earth. The earth, or the eretz, or the land, or ground. The land that I have given for an inheritance, and that's Nachal, or Nachal, or Nakal, okay, inheritance, or heritage. And then this appears here, remember this one? The one that's 7,302 times, that's never translated in English, at, that's Aleph Tab, 7,302 times it appears, and it's not have a letter to be represented in English. So that just means from A to Z. Okay, A to C, the one that appears 7,302 times and it's never translated, it just means A to C. So it's an inheritance from A to Z. The whole alphabet. Everything that the alphabet has made, everything that has utilized every letter from A to C, that's the inheritance of the alphabet, isn't it? Everything that has to utilize the alphabet, and any letter of the alphabet, you know, the alphabet is the owner of it. So that's the land. The land is the alphabet from A to Z. So in other words, God couldn't name everything. You know, it'll take, you know, more than all these books to write all the names, all the things that have been created by the alphabet, and they're still being created because every day people come up with new ideas. They have to use the alphabet to name them. So he just says everything, the land from A to Z, everything that can be made from A to Z, that is your heritage. Because we were made, my friends, you and I were made to inherit words. The words, not only the order of words, you know, but the meaning and definition. When we have the order of word, that's when we do, you know, alphabetizing. You know, you have to alphabetize things. That's to find the order of words. You put everything in order. But alphabeticizing is a word that I created. That means to something make sure that it lives up to be a father. So that when you make a car or any service that you provide, it's there to provide a parenting care to the customer. It's not there to go as a widow or as an orphan begging for the customer to do something for it, but to be a parent. So alphabeticizing is making sure that whatever you are rendering lives up to be a parent to society. That's why the song says, I'm alphabeticizing the Father in me. I'm making sure that everything I do is to promote nourishment and nurture and care to society. Because I'm here to reflect all that he is to his creation. Understand? So that's what we said. So that's our heritage. So in verse 18 is saying, there's the land that I had to an inheritance from A to C. And then it says, what is that? Father. And that's what I like here, because it's not says your father, it just says father. So it says that I have given for an inheritance and a call from A to C. And then the next word is father. And father is what? A-B, AlefBet. Okay, so that's how it is here. So the land that he has given us, is like I say, if America is not just the ground, because we are in this ground, the dirt, but is the concept and ideas of the forefathers that wrote a constitution, wrote a Bill of Rights, and it told us what we need to stand for. That represents the land of the United States. So the land of the United States is the words written in the Constitution and in the Bill of Rights for us to behold. If you're a citizen here, even you are a resident, you have to abide by certain of the rules, But what I'm saying is that is what constitutes a land. Is all the things, the ideals that you stand for. Okay, because the ground itself cannot utter anything. It has to be the words written. And that's what every land differs, and they have their own constitution and they uphold. So that's what we're supposed to do. So the same with God here. I have given for an inheritance unto thee. From A to C is the app. That's the land for inheritance. And to emphasize that, in verse Jeremiah 3:19, it says, but I said, how shall I put thee among the children and give thee a pleasant land? Okay, the word pleasant here, it means like chemad. It's a feminine for delight, a goodly, pleasant, precious, beautiful land. And that's the beautiful land of the alphabet. It'll explain here. The pleasant land, a goodly heritage of the host of all nations. And I said, this is God talking, thou shalt call me Father, or my Father, AlefBet, and shall not turn away from me. It shall always be following me. So that's what's going to happen. At the end, at the end of the day, people have to realize that every business, everywhere that you go to work, they offer you the alphabet to take care of that building, or that business, that project, that service. Everything is managed by a particular alphabet in a certain order that is there to alphabetize a product, to render a product of service, being apparent to society in some way or another. Okay, and that's where we go to uphold that manual. So that's every place that you go to work for 8 hours a day, your regular job is you inherit the words. It's the land from A to Z to guide you in how to present that product or service. That is your heritage that you get at that workplace. That's all they give you. That's all you have to cherish. That's all you do repeatedly, because it's in the managing of the alphabet of the father of that product and service that you're working for that their service is sustained and is kept going. So everybody has to do that. You have to take care of the alphabet of every product and service. The alphabet is the father. Okay? There is no escaping that. But there's no teaching to tell you to cherish and esteem the character of the father as the highest there is, because you have to start with the alphabet to run any business or service. You cannot get away from it. That's why it's mandatory that every nation, it's mandatory. It's not like you want to or not. It's just a law that you have to learn the alphabet. You have to learn the alphabet as soon as possible. Okay? But from that point, so they teach you so that you can follow a certain order of words that they're going to give you, so you can be a great asset to run the mule, the manpower of hell, lame economy. The economies that cannot procreate themselves but depend on manpower. So they teach you that because that way you can at least follow order of words. But they don't necessarily teach you the character of the Father. And that's what the COVID-19-MAN is all about. I started with that, on August 10 of last year. That was the month of Av, and I did not even know at the time that it was the month of the Father. The month of Av. I started teaching you that with the alphabet as it was spelled out by David in Psalm 119, where he dedicates 8 verses to each one of the 22 letters of the alphabet to make a total of 176 verses. The longest chapter, the longest song in the Bible, and I explained. I did a 22-day fast, and I went through that. And I'm going to repeat that this year. It's something I'm going to do every year to emphasize and reinforce, the importance of the alphabet, and to get to know the alphabet to attain the character of the Father and to remain there, because that is our heritage. That was from the very beginning, and we have wandered off into the mule, trying to collect all kinds of things to replace it. And we say, oh, this thing is going to take care of me. This gadget is going to give me comfort. This service is going to provide what I'm really missing. What are you saying? You're calling all those things in the mulectic garden my father, my mother, my providers, my caretakers. You're calling all these things father. But God says it's going to come on the last day that you realize that everything comes from the alphabet. So you no longer are going to be given the title of, oh, you're my caretaker, to something that came out from the mule. You're only going to say the only caretaker and the source of everything is the alphabet, is the AlefBet, is the Father. And that is my only Father. And therefore you will call nothing else in this world your caretaker, your provider, your nourisher, your nurturer. You will realize that it is the alphabet that has been doing all the nurturing and all the caring from the very beginning, and you will repent from having given those titles and accolades to the work of your hands, thinking that those things were coming and building themselves all on their own. No, my friend, those things are changing, and that's what the COVID-19-MAN is all about, to bring you into that awareness, okay? And to make you aware that in the very beginning, if we were going to be in the mind of the alphabet, and we were going to take that in, and that was the only thing that we were going to be paying attention to, because that's the only way that everything is run and made, is through the alphabet until the AlefBet, the father of all things. If we were going to understand that, then, and our minds were not, distorted and twisted by the serpent, which I'm going to get into that in a minute here, then we would understand. We would have been, our souls would have been that place that brings coverage of care. When everything is made in the products in the mule, they want the guarantee, the coverage. What's the warranty on that? Do I get an extended warranty on that? Everybody wants to make sure they don't get a naked product. They get a product with coverage. In case if it breaks down, it has the warranty that the technicians can work on it and make you a brand new one, so you never run out of it. So everybody wants to have that coverage out of the warranty. And the warranty, what? It's nothing but the words in the technicians making sure that the whatever product or service, you're still going to continue to have it no matter what happened. Okay, so that's the whole idea. So the words, so in God, in the AlefBet, you were going to be that insurance for all of God's creation, that nothing was going to happen to any tree as a way of harm, to any animal, to the insects, none of that, because he, the Father of all things that have made the fruitful and the FMR, the fruitful, multiply, and replenish garden, was going to be dwelling in each one of us, and we were going to be his patent office for his character, making sure that no harm would come to the work of his hand, to the things that he had done. But since we despise that idea and that notion of just living for that, we created our own idea of how we can run the alphabet on our own. That was the whole idea, become knowledgeable, right? And that's what changed everything around for us, and took us into that spin, So, but that is the heritage that we started with. We started with the alphabet, and that's what we have to end with. So, with God, we are the ones offering coverage for care. We offer the coverage of God because he is in us, and we providing that coverage. Okay, so we are energized by the Word. We understand He is the power plant. He's the power source. He's the powerhouse. We become, in turn, because He provides the strong current that represents the mother, and with the strong current, we become His power plant. We become the current that provides the energy to all mulectic gardens, especially to all the mule. The mule has to depend on manpower. So we do that. So it is because we are word and power. We are wordectric, like the song says, that we are able to do this. And therefore we realize our heritage, that we have this power show, this house, this body, with 37.2 trillion cells. And each cell has 100 powerhouses, they call them mitochondria, that energizes the cell. So you are a power plant, my friend. The whole body talks about it. You have the DNA as the doctrinal ailment. That's God's healthcare system to take care of this temple where He was going to reside, with your soul and in His alphabet and who He is. Explaining to you how He runs everything from the very beginning. So this heritage is coming back. What has happened is that through the serpent, this whole confusion took place. And that's where I'm taking you right now. Let me see if I can take you to the picture of that so we can explain that a little better now. So let me take you, okay, so here we go. So this is what we're talking about today, the coverage and the nakedness, okay? So with God, we're going to be like this sun, a sun that radiates and shines, provides energy so that, the plants have photosynthesis. So food can be made upon the earth. So the beasts of the field can eat, the insects can eat, and everybody can subsist because of that light, So that's how we are. We are the energizers. So in all the economies of the world, we have to take in the word. No matter if they take it in the patent office, we eventually have to take it into our soul and make the work and the product and the service, work out what we're supposed to do. So that's what we are in the alphabet. We are the sun that shines, to supply the energy that is needed to run all the economies of the world. Okay? But not understanding that, we have acquired a different system of a standard of values, and which do not come from God, but we come from the serpent. Okay? And so that's why I have here, you can see on one side, on this side here, it says the sun. It says the sun. I have something that stands for that. The speech is unceasing nurturing, because that's what you are. When you have the alphabet, your speech and everything that you say, your thoughts are constantly nurturing. Whatever product or service you're working on, whatever soul you've been given to handle, your kids, you're constantly nurturing them. You're constantly nurturing the business. Whatever it is that the alphabet you become an expert with, that's what you become your speech, unceasing nurturing. That's the sun. But with the serpent, okay, and the serpent is the one that I put the speech ensnaring retarded production, eliminating nurturing training. Okay, because with the serpent, you are all there to consume whatever's in your path. So consumerism is what drives you. Is the reason why you exist. To see what new gadget I can get my hands up on. What good new service, new comforts I can experience. So everything is driven by that. So is the speech is snaring retarded production, eliminating nurturing training, because you only talk about the name of a product without knowing how to fix it or how to make it. So that the speech is snaring retarded production. You know the name of something but not how to make it. You'll only end up eliminating. So you only talk to each other and you share each other the stuff that guys you eat, the vacations you enjoy, the gadgets that you're working, everything that you share in Facebook. The serpent speech. That's what you do. Because you have no idea how to, live there for the wholesomeness of the character of God and to transmit that. So that's what we have going. Okay? And so for the sun, here on this on the bottom of the speech stands for sound pronouncements, things that you say, establishing enduringly caring habits. Because you are full of the alphabet, you can train people how to be parents, to be AlefBet deciding to make sure everybody lives up to the character of the Father. So you are doing caring habits. But with the speech, the serpent stands for sick pronouncements, establishing endless consumerism habits. Because that's all we do here at Facebook. We talk about, I enjoyed the vacation. Have you gone to, to Acapulco, man? Have you gone to this place? Have you gone to all these other places? Have you gone to Dubai? All these places that you can go and consume the luxuries and everything that you can enjoy in there, right? So everything is like that. The serpent speech is all over, but that has permeated the mindset, because I'm going to read where all of that comes from, okay? Let me take you here to where you guys are, and let me put you guys on my screen here, see if I can have you. All right. Well, I like this window because I can play with everything on this window. All right. See some of you in there. Good to see you guys. Okay, they're hanging in. Good. All right. Now, let me go to what I wanted to share here. All right. Now, this. Okay. There's on Genesis 3:1. Okay. It says, now the serpent was more subtle. Okay. The serpent was more subtle. It says, and that's H6175. We're going to look at it in a minute, what that looks like. And than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yeah, God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Okay, so that's what everything started, right? But we're going to look at this word subtle. Okay, it comes from H6175 in your Hebrew concordance, you know. And here on top, you can see a strong number, H, and matches the Hebrew arum. Okay, arum. So it has the ayin. The letter ayin is for the eye. The resh is for the head. So it's the eye and the head, you know, that connects to the solutions. Okay? So that's one way of interpreting is the head, or the eye of the head. Room is for the valve that connects to the solution, the mem is solution, right? Okay, or to solving something. Okay? But also this word, I'm going to take you here now because I want to make you see this. So this 6176 or 6175, this is the one we're looking at, that room. That was the most subtle. But let me take you to the one before that, H6174, which is the almost equivalent because one is more descriptive than the other, and see how that is interpreted. I'm going to take you to this. I'm going to click on this one here, and it takes you to the same one again. It's the same word. I, Resh, the Vav, and the Mem. Arum. Again, the same word. Okay, but what does it mean here? Okay, let me put it here. It means naked. All right? Naked. So, one word is translated subtle, which a lot of people think that's be smart, being prudent, being very wise. So, a lot of the stuff is being told as the naked being the most wisest of all the animals, you know. But then you understand that this is the same word as naked. Okay? So, when you understand the situation here, so the way to see it is this way. Of all the animals, and we put the picture of the serpent again here so we can get a better look at this. Okay? Of all the animals of the field that God made, all the animals have a little bit of, in their skin, you know, they have a little bit of hair. You know, like the cow, it's like a little, you know, the dogs have hair. You know, even cats have hair and whiskers. Some of them have whiskers. They all have a little covering, you know. Sheep has a lot of hair in it. But they all have, but of all the animals in the field that God made, only the serpent is completely skin. It's only skin. It has hair nowhere. You know, it has, what's that one that has the sound in the tail? I forgot the name already now. The rattlesnake. The rattlesnake has a little toy in the back. You know, it rattles, right? The rattlesnake has a little toy, but it's no hair. It's all naked. It's all skin. So the serpent is pure skin. So when it's second there is that of all the beasts of the field, the serpent was the most naked. That's what it's saying. Okay, it was the most naked. Okay, so the serpent realized, it was keenly aware that it was the most naked. You understand? That's what the awareness of that the serpent had about itself. It was like it had a nakedness complex, if you can think of that. Okay, he realized that all the animals have a little bit of hair here and there, but to me, God made me just pure skin. That's all I am, pure skin. So I'm completely naked compared to everybody. I'm just naked. Okay, and this naked creature, that was the epitome of nakedness, because it was the most naked of all of it. It is through the lenses of this creature that was keenly aware of nakedness that he was introduced, you know, to the tree of the intimacy, you know, of what to judge as evil or what to judge as good. Okay, so at that point, man at that point when he had just been created, he had not thought that the words that God was giving him, the words were something that he could use on his own, that he could claim words as something that it was his heritage to use as he pleased, you know, and to make with it become the architect of his own life, you know, the builder of his own destiny, whatever he likes to use. Everybody now thinks that all the words they have inside of them is just theirs, as if God did not have it deposited in them. They just think that that's a natural heritage. That thought has not crossed the mind of man, but that's what the serpent introduced. But the serpent also, because he's the one that was keenly aware of his nakedness, it passes with that notion. So man, with his ingenuity, he now is thinking on behalf of the serpent, that he can use the alphabet, because what made God be God was that he was able to use the alphabet to make everything that he made in the 6 days, the sun, the moon, the water, the herbs, the plants, the animals. So he figured, well, I can make use of that alphabet myself. That's also my heritage now. I can use it and be like God, because that was the only thing he could go with. So he appropriated that. He became the intimate, like the same word yada, to be intimacy is the same word when he became intimate with his wife. He became one. So he became one with this idea that he can use the alphabet any way he pleased. But he was being taught by the most naked animal. So the most naked animal had this situation that he was the most naked, and apparently it was this animal, that did not like the idea of being so naked, so that he transferred the idea to these pupils. So the pupils, Adam and Eve, they understood, that they were naked, and so they were looking at the alphabet to being used to cover their nakedness. Okay? So since then, man has appropriated the alphabet, thinking that he can do better. All the best he's done up until now is create a mule. Man, power, upheld, lame economy. An economy that cannot do the FMR. It's not fruitful, does not multiply. So you see what I'm saying? So in the keenness awareness of being naked, he learned that he could appropriate that. So the problem with man is he comes into this world and everything is to cover. He feels naked by anything. Every product he buys, if he doesn't have warranty, that product is naked. So life coveraging, all the companies that do coveraging, like life insurances, health insurance companies, those are the highest, biggest companies that have all the money cornered in the world. Because those are the ones that create the sensation that you have coverage. You're not naked in this world. You're in this world, you can have life insurance, or your family can keep going. You're covered for that. You're not naked in that area. You are working, you don't have health insurance. Oh, man, we give you coverage for that. So you're not naked in that area. We have coverage for you. So all these institutions, those are the biggest, the covering, the insurance companies are the most, that's where the money is at. For a while, I went to, what is called that? Primerica? I think it goes by a different name now. But Primerica, and I even went to Amway. But Primerica was teaching, through Primerica, I learned that the insurance companies are the biggest holders of the treasure of the money's people, because people are so naked that they have to have coverage. And that all because they look at the whole world. They forgot that in the alphabet, they are the coverage of all the goodness. They are the coverage and insurance for the whole world to exist, because they inherit and they become the sunlight of God, and they can speak the words of nurturing. They can be the speeches unceasing nurturing. They're always nourishing. But because they're cut off from the alphabet, they are naked in this world, and they look everything from the serpent's perspective, and they want to find covering in the mule, in the products of the mule. Okay? Because they're aware of the room of the nakedness. Okay? And so that's the perspective. And so that's what drives men. You're gonna understand. So that's what has taken the priority right now. So everybody's aware of, that in this world, you have to get coverage for everything. You buy a car, you got to get insurance for the car. You bring a child into the world, you got to get insurance for the kid. Nothing can stay naked. You buy even a product, you buy a TV, you want the warranty. You buy a phone, you want the warranty, you want the coverage. Nothing can be naked. So all these companies, because they realize that that's how you program. You see everything from the serpent's perspective, that there's have to be coverage for you. That's why when, that first that they have followed the lesson, to appropriate the alphabet for themselves and do whatever they want, and they learned that with the serpent, asking the aware of nakedness. That's when God says, so who told you that you were naked? Like I was saying, I know where you got that from. I know who taught it to you, But I wanted to see, if he was going to be honest, who told you were naked? And he provided the covering, because God is into the covering business. He is the one that is the covering, the insurance of coverage for everything in this world, for not suffer harm. If we live content and happy to be in him at all times, for him to be the strength of our life, for him to be the power source, you understand? And we are his power plant. Okay, and we receive his strong current and we go about our business. So if that's what you desire in this world, if you want to be in the AlefBet, and acquire the whole A to Z, because the land of your inheritance, then the only thing that you need is, my beloved is mine, my beloved, the alphabet is mine, and I am his. Oh, my beloved is mine, and I am his. And I just live to make sure that I live up to the character of the Father. And every word that I receive lives up to the Father, to the character of being a parent to this world. And that is what has happened. So all that has happened right now is just that the value system has changed. We identify with the serpent, so we have to create a whole, economy that will provide coverage. When we were supposed to be the ones like the sun bringing his coverage of light and energy onto all the earth, that's where we are with the AlefBet. But when we forget that, we go down to the serpent level, and the serpent is the opposite of the sun. Like I told you, the sun is this big head that gives energy and nourishment. And the serpent is a big head that devours all the nourishment and all the energy because it just eats everything. He doesn't have arms and legs. He just crawls from one side to the other, and just crawls and he eats and devours anything in his path. So that's why men said, "Dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return." And then the curse that was given to the serpent is, "And dust shalt thou eat." So men became dust, and then the serpent devours the desires of men who became dust. And so the man fulfills the desires of the serpent. So he lives in the mindset of nakedness, because that was the curse. Man became dust thou art, unto dust shalt thou return. And to the serpent is, in thy belly thou shalt crawl, and dust shalt thou eat. So if he said that man became dust, that man is dust, that dust is man. Now the man has become dust, being used to fulfill the desires of the serpent. So the serpent devours all the desires that are inside of you. So you're not in the desires of the AlefBet. You're in the desires of the serpent. The whole world is caught up in that. Okay? So you understand the deliverance that you get from the Torah, because your mind is delivered from that. You're not longer naked. You're a room. Okay? You have the coverage. You have the AlefBet, and from A to Z, that is your land, and then you live for the order, not only for the order of words, but to make sure that the character of the Father is manifested in all the words that run through you and everything that you do and that you say. All right? So this, my friends, is the thing that you need to capture. So the coverage and the nakedness, okay? So you understand what we have in our Maker and what we're supposed to retain, okay? And the whole world is caught up in the snake, in the serpent. The speeches, snaring, retarded production, eliminating, nurturing, training, okay? And so, but if we remember Psalm 119, 130, the entrance of our words give it light, it give it energy. It's word dectric. It give it understanding unto the simple. Okay, that's our true heritage. And we have to be the coverage of the care of God so that everything will have life in this world, understand? So that is where it all stands, okay? And so let me sing that song one more time so you understand, and then we'll start with the questions. All right, let's see here. My beloved is mine, and I am his. Whoa, whoa. My beloved is mine, and I am his. Oh, oh. My beloved is mine, and I am his. Whoa, whoa. My beloved is mine, and I am his. And he quick review here. Let me make sure I get this through here because this is very important. Let me get what I had before. Yeah. So you can see that the same word, our room, in one way is translated as naked here, and in the next one, let me take you back to the way it was before. Yeah, so we can see what I'm talking about. Okay, on age 75, like this one here, we started with the same word, room. Okay, and I was explaining to the people that were here on Sunday in my house, and one good way to remember this, when people are getting naked or they're making out, hey man, get a room. It's a good way to remember the word or room. You gotta be, and the thing is, it also means prudent. Okay, that's interesting how they translate it here. But that's the beauty about going into the Hebrew, you see? Because when you have it in English, so here like crafty or shrewd or sensible or prudent, And I can understand because when you're naked, you got to be careful how you move around. You just can't be exposing yourself to everybody, You got to be prudent. You got to be crafty. You got to be careful how you move around, So in a way, it has a certain way in which naked and being prudent and being crafty and being careful, that has to do with that. But you see, the root of it is the same words, nakedness. So you see, when you don't know the Hebrew, you just go by the translation. That's how you get lost. Okay? But now it makes perfect sense why God asked that. Because if you read that, all of a sudden, God mentions, who told you were naked? And then you don't connect it. It's like a non sequitur, something that doesn't follow, doesn't make any sense. A statement that comes after something and you say, what did he came up with that? Why is he asking that? But when you understand that a room is the same word that it says, and he was naked and he was not ashamed, and there's the same word, and the serpent was the most naked, then you can see why it makes sense why God was talking that way. See the last verse in chapter 2 and then the first verse in chapter 3? It's a sequence there. There's a it's not like a non sequitur. It's meant when you say something and it doesn't follow any sense of what came out before. But that's what happened when you know the language. We do not know the language, okay? So that's the whole thing now. So we're learning that, and we're learning how to, to get into the Hebrew and understand things from God's perspective. So this is the main thing I wanted you to understand today. So let me take you here to where we guys are here with me, and I'll start making some questions. All right, let me see how we're doing. All right. Oh, okay, so we have, all right. So we're ready to make some moolah, some money. All right. Okay, let's see. All right, first $70. There's three prices of $70. All right. Okay. Okay, let me ask the first question. First question for $70. When we have the AlefBet and all that comes with the AlefBet, that means everything from A to Z, or the alphabet, everything from A to Z, or from Aleph to Tab, what are we offering to the world when we have the AlefBet and all the things, everything from A to Z? What are we offering to the world? See if anybody can answer that. Get a room. So when we have the AlefBet, the Father, we have word and power. We have word and power. But what do we offer to the world? We have the alphabet. No. What do we offer? Okay, or what do people want? Let me put it down now. What do people want when they buy something? What do they want? What are we offering? No, we have complete wisdom, yes, but what are we offering? What is the people? It has to be with the title of the message today. What are we offering? It's in the title of the message. Nourishment. Now we're getting close. That's the closest one so far. Yeah, because it's basically what I will talk today. Meaning of words, money. Okay. Silver is a no. Nourishment is the closest one so far, but it's not the best one. It's in the title of the subject today. Coverage. Exactly. Okay, coverage. We have offering coverage. With Brian. Brian wants to say that. Okay, we're offering coverage. Because God made us to offer this coverage. Because He is the cover, He is the guarantee. The alphabet, He is the alphabet and the A to Z that guarantees that everything that came out of that is going to be taken care of. So when we have the alphabet, when we have A to Z, we are offering coverage to the world. You know, we hear, and that's what we made for. We were made. So if you want to be the coverage of God through all of creation, all you need, you know, is the alphabet and the A to Z, or the and the Aleph tab. That's all you need to inherit. Okay, that's all that is needed there. Correct. So Brian Wanta get $70 on that one. The first one to answer on that one. Okay, now, perfectly. Now, according to what I read you at the beginning from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verses 18 and 19, all right, what is the land that we're supposed to inherit? Okay, at the end. We're supposed to inherit it at the very beginning, but we're going to get it at the end. But what's the land or the Eretz that we're supposed to inherit? You know, according to Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18 and 19, at the end it says, you're going to inherit it. Your heritage is going to be this land. And what is that land? Okay. It says, Judah and Israel, yeah, they're going to be together. But that's not the land that they are going to inherit the land. They're going to inherit the land. Judah and Israel. Not yet, Brian. No. You cannot answer it yet. Yeah, let somebody else try. Blessed. It is a pleasant land. It is a pleasant land. Yes, true. But what does that land represent? Okay. Well. Okay. I'm not have to give it to Christmas because it's about alphabeticizing. Yes, it's the land of the Father. Ab. Okay. So it's the one that came the closest to it. So Rosa Crispin, yeah, you can get the app. The land is the land of the Father. The heritage is the land of the alphabet. That's what we get. Okay? And Israel and Judah, all of them going to get that because the alphabet is what secures, you know, safety and life for everybody. So it says that, you know, the heritage is going to be the Father, you know. So that will be Rosa Crispin, $70. Okay, you got the closest. Alphabeticizing has the Father in it. Rosa Crispin. All right. Okay. Now for the next, on the next $70. All right. What is the Hebrew word for naked? Hebrew word for naked or nakedness. Hebrew word for naked. Hebrew word for naked. Let's see who's gonna write it first. The Hebrew word for naked. What's the Hebrew word for naked? Room. Okay. Brianna, you got it. The I and the head. You can spell it out. Okay. Room. Yes, that's right. Brianna Duran. Okay. Brianna Duran. Okay. Brianna Duran gets the $70. All right. Very good. Very good. Yeah, and the best way to remember that, you know, if people want to get naked, hey, get a room. It's a room. That's the best way to remember. We're making, hey, get a room. So people about to get naked, that's a good way to remember the word. But yeah, that's what it means. And so, you know, though it's translated prudent, it's good when you know the Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? It clears up a lot of things, you know? So we realize, you know, how God runs the whole world. Everything makes perfect sense with the Hebrew, you know? So I'm glad that you guys were able to understand and to receive this lesson. You know, I was really happy to give it to you. You know, I hope we all learned something from it. I always learn a lot because I have to prepare them. So, woo! I'm getting a lot of it given to me, you know, while I'm learning, while preparing it. But I'm glad to have given it to you. Yeah, so congratulations to the winner, Brian Wanta, Rosa Crispet, Brianna Duran, $70 each. All right, and so may God bless each and every one of you. Let me get into a commercial here. Then we're gonna get going. Here we go.